Manchester United won, Astana 0. Really pleased that Manchester United have got through this game and won. Manchester United just aren't doing it the hard way at all. And I did say in the previous videos that I think Manchester United may have to rely on a lot of scrappy 1-0 victories this season, but we have actually dominated this game as expected. We have had nearly every single chance of this game. We've battered them in possession, and it's taken us till I think it was the 73rd minute, I believe, from a moment of brilliance from Mason Greenwood. Who else other than Mason Greenwood? And I don't think people were surprised, to be honest. But it is a bit of a concern that Manchester United are having to rely on moments of magic or a penalty, as it was against Leicester, to get Manchester United through games at this moment in time. And I really do think the creativity in midfield has been lacking. But we did start. The positive is we've seen a number of young players start tonight. Tuanzebe at the back has started his first game in the Europa League for Manchester United, first game of the season for Manchester United. We've seen Chong start his first game for Manchester United. We've seen Gomez start his first game for Manchester United. And we've seen Mason Greenwood start his second game for Manchester United. This is a young starting lineup. Now, my disappointments are obviously that Rashford squandered a number of chances, I think, in the first half for Manchester United to be leading this game, and we probably should have gone in at least 1 or 2 goals up at the break, and maybe then we could have kicked on. It was late on. We did have a couple of good. I mean, Jesse Lingard had a great chance, which I think was saved onto the post by the keeper, but I mean, the goalkeeper has pulled off a number of saves tonight, but we should be putting these to bed earlier on in these games. That is the biggest concern. But still, you've got 21-year-old Marcus Rashford up front with 17-year-old Mason Greenwood, Tai Chong up there as well, only 19 years of age. Angel Gomez only 19 years of age, and then you've got Dalot at the back, only 20. Tuanzebe only 21 years of age. So it is a very young, inexperienced starting lineup that we put out tonight. But I just would have liked to have seen us put these away a bit easier than we have done tonight. But obviously positive has got to be Mason Greenwood's first goal in the first team for Manchester United in the league. We obviously scored 2 in the pre-season, but obviously it wasn't as good as that one against Inter Milan. That was my favourite, but still, to break the deadlock, to be the man to break the deadlock at 17, fantastic. And how many more goals will Mason Greenwood score? We will just have to wait and see, but it is pleasing to see. Hopefully he can get another start. If he doesn't start against West Ham at the weekend, then I would definitely expect him to start against Rochdale in the League Cup next week. And probably a number of these players will get some minutes in that as well. I know we did have some injuries going into tonight's game, which was why some of these players started the game. The only downfall was that Manchester United weren't comfortable enough to bring Jimmy Garner off the bench, because I think he is probably, I think he's one of Manchester United's best youth products in the Manchester United Academy, and I think it would have been nice to see him get some minutes. He's only ever played a couple of minutes last season and really could do with a chance to start the season fantastically well. But I did say in the preview I'd be happy to take 1-0. The other game, AZ Alkmaar ended 2-2 in their game, so really pleased for that as well. That has made me probably more happy than the fact that Manchester United, if Manchester United had scored the second goal and one of them two in that group had won that game, because I want Manchester United to win this group as quickly as possible. And if the other teams are drawing games, taking points off each other, AZ Alkmaar I think had 10 men as well. So then if they're taking points off each other and Manchester United win their games, we're going to win the group a lot quicker than if Manchester United had won 2-0 and one of them had won 2-1. We'd be level on points. So that is probably the more positive outlook you can have on it. You want the other teams to draw their games and then Manchester United win their game. So if Manchester United win their next game and the other game ends to draw, Manchester United would almost be there. That is the good thing about that draw. It would put Manchester United on 6 points. The next best would be 2 points then. So Manchester United would almost be done and dusted, and winning the third game it would be practically done. So that would be the real positive way to look at things tonight, because the main aim is just to get this qualification over the hill as quick as possible, done, dusted, and then you can literally rest the whole, whatever players you want. You can bring in Brandon Williams, you can bring in Jimmy Garner, you can give them sort of players a run out, because it will not matter then if we lose. It will give them massive experience. I mean, this is still a top European competition. And these players have got experience from that. The likes of Angel Gomez, Tai Chong, who probably didn't do enough tonight. Tai Chong, probably Gomez did a bit more, I thought, than maybe Taith. But these players have got experience with this. We're going to have hostile atmospheres going away, obviously, to Kazakhstan as well. There's a couple of artificial pitches we've got to play on in the latter stages of this tour, this group stage. So Manchester United are going to come up against some difficult, hostile tests away from home, and some of these players are going to experience that, and hopefully it's going to make them better and stronger players for that. So that will be the plus, because obviously it's a shame that Angel and Chong and Tai Chong couldn't get 90 minutes this evening, but I can understand why he brought Jesse Lingard and Juan Mata on in that second half to add some experience to try and get Manchester United that goal to get us over the line. And to be honest, Jesse Lingard did actually have a couple of chances, maybe should have scored a second when I think it was Greenwood put him through and the goalkeeper saved it. But hopefully the win's the most important thing. As I said the other day, if we start winning 1-0s, maybe get another 1-0 against West Ham, I don't know, but if we can keep the 1-0s coming, the confidence is going to flow that Manchester United are winning games, and that's when hopefully Manchester United will start to score some more goals. At this moment in time, the wins hadn't been coming too clever for Manchester United in recent times. So all it is about winning games at football at this moment in time. We can improve on the performances coming. It is a shame that we couldn't break these down earlier, but overall I just want Manchester United to be winning games of football. We've done that tonight. These have made it difficult for Manchester United. I thought the odds on this game, we were about 1 to 25 on, or whatever the fuck we were on to win this game. I thought that was a bit mad, considering these are a professional team. I mean, they're well in the thick of their season. They're right near the top of the Castanic League, or however you pronounce it. So they're not no mugs. I mean, they got to the group stage of this Europa League. We may end up having an easier tie against one of the other teams in the group. You never know, because these have sat back and Manchester United have struggled to break them down. I mean, the other two games that we've won this season, Leicester and Chelsea, didn't sit back like this. And Manchester United maybe, I don't know, Manchester United probably didn't find it so easy against Leicester, but against Chelsea we scored more goals because they come out more. So maybe if we play one of the other teams, or even these at home, where they may have to come out a bit more to try and win the game, because one of these other teams in the group are going to need to probably qualify, because you would expect Manchester United to win the group. So at some point, one of these other teams are probably going to have to take risks in a game to try and get the 3 points in order to get into that top 2 position. And you would expect Manchester United maybe will find it a bit easier if a team comes out against Manchester United with the pace that we've got in the forward areas, with the likes of James when he plays. And we probably did miss Paul Pogba's creativity in the midfield, because we don't really have a player like that in the Manchester United midfield. Maybe Jimmy Garner can be a little bit like that. He's more defensive, obviously, than Paul Pogba, and obviously Gomez looking to create as well, because obviously some of Jimmy Garner's passing is very, very good. But Manchester United, he's probably more on the style of a Carrick, and obviously that's what they were talking. Robbie Savage was talking about that on BT Sport, saying that we don't have that sort of player, that Michael Carrick type of player, and maybe Jimmy Garner can be that man to unlock it, because we don't have that real creativity without Paul Pogba in that midfield. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. So hopefully Manchester United now are well in pole position to qualify from this group. We are 2 points clear at the top of the group. A win in our next 2 games will all but guarantee Manchester United a place in the last 32 of this Europa League. I think we've got the most difficult 2 away games coming up next in this group, so win them 2 and we will be there. Let me know your thoughts on it. Man of the match for me, Mason Greenwood, obviously scored the goal, so I'm giving him man of the match. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.